Country star John Rich and many others are calling out Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, the Democrat VP candidate who's being accused of stolen valor. John Rich is one half of Big and Rich, but he also has quite the successful solo career. The music video for his new single Revelation has over 2.6 million views in just 3 weeks. He says the new song was inspired by scripture and is intended to counter satanic themes in music and entertainment. He told Tucker Carlson on a recent podcast appearance how the song came together. He said, "I was at home in Nashville, not even thinking about writing a song, when suddenly it felt like a hammer hit me in the back of the head. When the Lord slaps you upside the head with something, you have a physical reaction to it. The message I felt coming back to me was, take it all the way to the mat." And John Rich is proving that all of this can be done without a record label. The success of his new single Revelation happened as an independent artist. In addition to being outspoken about his faith, John Rich is also very outspoken about his love of America. And now, he's calling out Democrat VP candidate Tim Walz, who's facing widespread allegations of stolen valor based on past comments he's made. His opponent, Ohio Senator JD Vance, Donald Trump's VP pick, is himself a Marine Corps veteran who honorably served his country. In this footage, released by the Harris campaign, Walz claims that he carried weapons of war during war.
Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and said, "Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this." I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
But that statement is false. Walz never served in combat and has drawn outrage from many veterans. Senator JD Vance slammed Walz for the comments, labeling it stolen valor garbage. He said, "Do not pretend to be something that you're not. I'd be ashamed if I was saying that I lied about my military service like you did." What is true is that Walz served in the Army National Guard for 24 years. Before he retired in 2005, Walz never served in combat, though in 2003 he was deployed to Italy in a support position. Making matters worse, it's also reported that in early 2005, Walz's unit received a warning order to prepare for mobilization to Iraq. Walz would retire in May of that year after the order went out, and his fellow guardsmen said he left them hanging. He was trashed by his fellow guardsmen in a letter published in the West Central Tribune. Retired Command Sergeants Major of the Minnesota National Guard, Thomas Behrens and Paul Herr, said in early 2005 they received that warning order, and they wrote, "On May 16, 2005, he quit, leaving the Field Artillery Battalion and its soldiers hanging, without its senior non-commissioned officer, as the battalion prepared for war." And now, John Rich is slamming Tim Walz. He's seen in multiple pictures wearing this hat, showing the Special Forces crest. This user wrote, "Hey Tim Walz, this you? Do you often wear our crest even though you were only National Guard with 0 deployments, never went through the SFAS or the Q course, and by all accounts never even worked with Special Forces? Stolen valor much?" To which John Rich responded, "Walz is getting called out by actual Special Forces members for wearing the crest of a unit he was never involved with. It's called stolen valor. Is Tim in violation of the Stolen Valor Act of 2013? And Sean Ryan, a former Navy SEAL and host of The Sean Ryan Show, shared this post. "This is a photo of me not being Tim Walz. Some of us answered the call, and some of us, Tim Walz, cowered in the rear." His post got over 91,000 likes on X. What do you think about the situation? Let us know in the comments. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.